Hello, wrestling fans, VHS fans, and welcome to NDT CoLlEcTs WrAsSLiN Plus VHS.
The following segment has been brought to you by NDT CoLlEcTs WrAsSLiN Plus VHS.
Folks, in this segment today, we have some more packages through the mail from eBay, from Marketplace, and a local video store that's been vacant or shut down for a little while. Let's get into it and see what VHSs we got. First off, we got one from eBay here, I believe. eBay, have it your way. Just cut her open and see what we ordered here. We have Back to the Future Part 2. Back to the Future Part 2, y'all. He's got this thing sealed up in a plastic bag. Huh. Look at that. He sealed that up in a plastic bag, which is pretty cool, so it won't get wet and whatnot. I like it. What a neat way to do things. We have, like I said, we have Back to the Future Part 2 here. One of my favorite parts is Back to the Future Part 2 of the franchise. Or the trilogy, should I say. It is one of my favorites. I always enjoyed Back to the Future Part 2. Really did. I enjoy all three, but this is the favorite out of the trilogy, which is Back to the Future Part 2. Let me throw the box out there. Next up, we have one here. I think this is from eBay too. I'm not sure. Taped well. Taped very well. I should have brought a knife instead of a pair of scissors, but let's see what we got here, y'all. We have bubble wrap, baby. We have bubble wrap. We have a movie called, you got bubble wrap plus saran wrap here. Take that saran wrap off. He's got it taped there too. Huh, nicely done there. Nicely done. He, or she, sold this. Got it taped very well. Packages. We have Street Trash, y'all. You ever seen this movie? Street Trash. Got this off eBay. Street Trash. One of old horror classics. From 1987, I believe. Yes. Eraserhead meets Night of the Living Dead on the set of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Street Trash. Very nice horror flick. Love some Street Trash. Says property of First Stop Video. Must have been a video rental at one time. First Stop Video. Ain't that something? Alright, next up we have a bag here full. Oh, bring it on over here. We have a baggie full here. Let's see what we got. First off, we have Cheaper by the Dozen. Part 1. Cheaper by the Dozen with Steve Martin. Steve Martin. Cheaper by the Dozen. Next up we have Michael with John Travolta. Michael. Good old John Travolta Michael. That's a nice one. Next up we got Wishmaster Part 3. Wishmaster. Anybody seen the Wishmasters? They're good films. Don't ever wish what you get for, because you may get it. Wishmaster. Next up, we got RoboCop Part 2. RoboCop Part 2. Who remembers the old good old RoboCop movies, right? RoboCop Part 2. Next up, we have The Nutty Professor Part 2. The Clumps. Eddie Murphy. The Clumps. Nutty Professor Part 2. Next up, we have Superman. Superman, The Quest for Peace. The Quest for Peace, Superman. I don't know, I think it's part 4, right? Yeah. Quest for Peace. Next up we have Superman Part 3. Superman Part 3. Good film. I love some Supermans. Part 3. Next up we have The Mouth of Madness. In the Mouth of Madness. Mouth of Madness. I think it's got Burt Reynolds in it. I ain't sure. Might not have Burt Reynolds. Can't remember to be quite frankly. In the Mouth of Madness. Next up we have... No, this has got Burt Reynolds in it. I'm sorry. The Mouth of Madness I don't think has Burt Reynolds. The Maddening. The Maddening, if I don't want to say it correctly. That has Burt Reynolds. You can see on the front there. The Maddening. Burt Reynolds. Next up we have Without a Paddle. With Seth Green. Without a Paddle. Matthew Lillard's in this also. Without a Paddle. Nice little film there. Next up we have one of the all-time greats in the trilogy, so to speak, I think. Just my opinion. Is Dusk from Dawn. From Dusk Till Dawn. Part 1. From Dusk Till Dawn. And last but not least in this bag, we have John Travolta in The Phenomenon. The Phenomenon. That's a good movie too, but John Travolta in Phenomenon. Let's see, I think I got one more bag. I'll set that package of work to the side for right now. We have one more bag here to go through. The VHS haul here. And we'll see what we got here. We got RoboCop Part 1. RoboCop Part 1. Good old RoboCop, right? This is an ARN video. Nice little video. RoboCop. 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 And out of the trilogy we have RoboCop Part 3. RoboCop Part 3. It says, back on the line, back on duty. RoboCop Part 3. And we got a little Home Alone meets something other here in this older film here. So we can get it out of there. It's stuck in the box. No. Let's see. What's holding it? Wow. Can you believe that? That's crazy. Something's got that hold. Look at that. Can you believe that? Well, let's see. I can't take the top of it off. We'll have to deal with that later. Anyway, Baby's Day Out. I will get that out of there somehow. There's something going on inside. Yeah. Yeah. The flapper inside the box itself here is glued and hitting the lid right there a little bit on both sides. See, I don't know if y'all can see it now. Probably can't now. See the little flapper right there? Yeah. Huh. Anyway, Baby's Day Out. Used to watch this a long time ago, a lot of times. It's a pretty good film. I like it. Baby's Day Out. Oh, next up we have the Prophecy Part 2. The Prophecy Part 2. Probably Christopher Walken. Yo, got to do it. Next up we have Oh Brother, We're Out There. Oh Brother, We're Out There. Great film. I love it too. Got old John Goodman. It's got George Clooney, John Tarantino, then Leslie Nielsen. Great movie. Next up we have Good Will Hunting with Robin Williams. And I think it's Ben Affleck. Yeah. Good Will Hunting. Good Will Hunting. Next up we have an Adam Sandler film and Drew Barrymore in 51st Dates. 51st Dates. Yes. Next up we have Prophecy Part 1. The Prophecy Part 1. Part 1 of The Prophecy with Christopher Walken. Next up we have a Stephen King's adaptation called The Thinner. Stephen King's Thinner. Great film. I enjoyed it quite well. Stephen King's adaptation of The Thinner. Push that tape right out of that box. There we go. Next up we have Scary Movie Part 3. Scary Movie Part 3. That's when somebody else took over the franchise here. I enjoyed Part 1 and 2 quite well. 3 was okay. The rest of them just got crazy and silly. That's just my opinion. But you could tell it when the Wayans brothers didn't have no control no more after Part 2. This is Part 3, which was decent. I enjoyed. Next up we have Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me. Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me. Doo-doo-doot. Doo-doo-doot. Groovy, yeah, baby. Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me. That's it. That wraps it up from NDT CoLlEcTs WrAsSLiN Plus VHS.
This segment was brought to you by NDT CoLlEcTs WrAsSLiN Plus VHS.